Saturn in Aries. Who gets to define authority now? You've heard me say it a million times. Saturn is what? Saturn is boundaries, mastery, authority, rule. But what does that actually all mean? Especially in the world we're living in right now. We've been taught to kind of fear Saturn, to see him as this scythe wielding tyrant. We know him as the Punisher, the patriarch. But Saturn's archetype hasn't always been so fixed. Remember, as above, so below. As we change, the stars change too. Why? Because we are a part of this universe. Yes, Saturn has evolved in many different ways over time. We've seen him as a king, we've seen him as a farmer, and we've actually seen him as death itself. Now, with Saturn entering Aries, entering a new dawn, a new era, a reset, a revolution, like the definitions are not fixed. We get to decide how this gets defined. So let's ask the real question: who gets to define what authority is? So, Saturn being tied to like citizenship, we saw that starting with the Romans. Yeah, I know, stick with me. But what the hell is citizenship? Lines on a map, words on paper, laws written by man, not the stars. So, man made authority, man made boundaries. If Saturn represents authority and Saturn represents citizenship, what does it mean right now when citizenship is in crisis? Those papers that we gave so much meaning to in other administrations now don't have any meaning. Trump can talk about the invisible line boundary border between us and Canada, but he wants to pull a wall up between us and Mexico. People are getting deported who are citizens. So I'm asking again, who has the authority? With citizenship and laws in crisis, Saturn isn't just cracking the whip, he is showing the cracks in the infrastructure. Here's the part I need you to take away from this. This was loud in my dream work last night. Revolutions may start by fire, but they survive at the root. Isn't it interesting that a lot of like revolutionary movements, like their symbol somewhere in it was a scythe, the same as Saturn? Why would a symbol that's for Saturn be a symbol of revolution as well? So yes, Saturn carries a scythe, but not to cut only, but to also harvest. With Saturn in Aries, we need to understand that authority doesn't come from above, someone disciplining us from above. It comes from nourishing and sustaining what is below. It comes from the land, it comes from the people, it comes from care, it comes from commitment, it comes from what we choose to give power to. So Saturn has moved into Aries, the sign of self, the sign of the individual. It's also asking, what are you giving authority to? Who are you allowing to rule you? And do you understand what rules you? Because yes, Saturn and Aries could be the same old story. It could be an old man playing toy soldiers. Absolutely. Another old man in power, more people dying, another war. It could also be people like Deontay Kyle standing up and holding men accountable, calling other men in, redefining masculinity, responsibility, and sacred leadership. So remember, Saturn is what we decide who we give authority or what we give power to. If Saturn is citizenship, then it is not a big leap to say that Saturn is colonization, patriarchal, upholds white supremacy, is Saturn whiteness. Because listen, citizenship isn't even holding up. Those papers aren't meaning anything. And I know a lot of you are going to say that a lot of his stuff hasn't gone through, but enough of it fucking has. We have people who have been kidnapped who are American citizens. So where's the power? Who has the power? We are seeing what has the true power. So what are we going to do about it? Saturn in Aries, in a way, is going to be like a mirror. We get to choose the reflection looking back at us. What are we going to do?